So fragile, so weak. Even your best falls short. Life at a price. Survival of the fittest. Embrace your destiny.
What is up guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to play ZED. So this champion got buffed, and ever since that happened he has been in the S tier, one of the absolute best mid laners you can play right now. AD assassin, and it is one of the few AD assassins that actually skill into the late game because he has such low cooldowns, especially on that ultimate. As usual, you'll be starting out with the Q, the Shuriken, and if you do get zoned away level 1, then you just stay back and then you try to last hit the minions with your Q. When you try to poke the enemy champions, try to make sure that the champion is actually the first target you hit with a Q, because otherwise the damage gets reduced if it has to travel through other targets first. But we are running Scorch. It used to be a rune I really hated because it was absolutely useless before, but that rune also got buffed, and that of course means that AD assassins should definitely be abusing that if they have sorcery in the runes. So you should definitely try to proc that off cooldown when our Scorch is ready, because that is a decent amount of damage. And now we can help out the jungle here, take down the Poppy. And that was a pretty free first blood. That's why when you play AD assassins especially, you really want to impact the map. This was possible also because this champion has some mobility in his W, also his ultimate, but we don't really have that yet. But his W actually makes him pretty mobile because you can use that over walls and stuff, so you can get to other parts of the map a lot faster compared to something like a Lux. For that W, of course, if you recast it, then you're gonna switch positions with it and it's going to mimic your E and your Q. And now that we are hitting level 3, that's when we can really start getting those combos off. But still, level 3 is not a very strong power spike. It really begins when you get level 4, because that's when you get another point into your Q, and that's why it starts hurting. So E is like AoE damage around you, and it also slows enemy champions, right? So when you use your W, then use your E first to slow the enemy champion, then use your W Qs. Similar to the combo I did right here, there's a very easy electrocute proc, and that's basically what you do the entire time. If you hit a couple of these, then it should be a pretty free kill on the enemy champion when you hit level 6, or if they overextend, you might even be able to kill them before that. That's a bit unlucky, but that's pretty much every single Lux player in the history of League. Always extremely lucky. And then somehow manages to pick up random kills they should never have. But that was also partly my fault because I wanted to save my flash and try to W out, because when you hit enemy champions with your E, it's going to reduce the cooldown of your W. So I was being a bit too greedy with my sums and I ended up dying for it. But still really unlucky that this Lux survived, because then none of this would have happened. But it's okay though. We took out her flash, so we might be able to find a kill at level 6. So now, if you want to push out the wave, if you want to push it out instantly, then you have to use your W and then hit the entire wave with your E and your W shurikens. So we can just look for room. Remember, your E is only going to slow guys if it is your shadow, like your W, that hits them. So if you hit them by yourself, then nothing will happen. Now you can see, moving bot lane for another roam. I've been telling you guys over and over, if you play AD assassins, this is something you have to abuse. AD assassins are champions that can roam really fast because of their mobility and also because of their high burst damage, allowing them to take down targets extremely fast. And your passive makes your auto attack deal bonus damage to low HP targets. This actually makes it a lot easier to last hit with this champion. Probably one of the easiest champions to last hit with under the tower, because like you don't need to prepare the minions in advance. Like one auto attack, like for example, they cast a minion, after they take one auto attack from the tower, then one auto attack from you is going to clear them out. And now we got level 6, so we got the ultimate up. So besides dealing a ton of damage based on the damage you have dealt during the ultimate animation, another important thing as how you want to use it is because it makes you untargetable. Like you disappear for a short while. So when you're about to take CC or something, that's when you should be using it, because you can really use it to dodge a lot of stuff, while also making sure that you actually reach the target that you're ulting. And that is exactly what I meant. Pay attention to what I did right here. I could ult the Lux a lot earlier, right? But I saved my ultimate onto that puppy. CC came in, and that's when I ulted, because that will nullify the CC, because suddenly I go untargetable. So that allowed me to block out the CC while also gap closing to the Lux, getting the kill, and then getting out, because you can recast your ultimate to switch position with your ultimate clone. But now that you have the ultimate up, then you can use the R to spawn a clone. Then you can also spawn another clone with your W. And then if you use the shuriken, you're gonna get triple shuriken combo. That's like the maximum DPS you can get. It's overkill most of the time onto squishy targets, but if there's someone full HP you have to burst down, then you can use the triple shuriken combo. So you ult, then you place another clone with your W, E into triple Q. And that should be enough to burst down pretty much anyone that isn't a tank with full armor. But no mage or AD carry, and a lot of bruisers also will not survive that as long as you're not behind. So that's like your maximum DPS combo you can be using when the target is full HP and they don't really have any mobility to dodge your triple shurikens. That's when you can go for it. If they do have mobility, then you want to save your W. For example, you ult someone and they flash away or dash away, then you keep your W until that happened. And when they use that mobility sum or ability, that's when you use that W to gap close again, and you get the kill, and you peace out. This Lux surviving once again, really cringe champ, but we have the Kathas to pick up the kills, so super worth it. She also has the Seeker Sangard, so that's why she actually managed to survive that. But it's okay, so now we have the wave for ourselves, so we can just focus on pushing that out. And we can reset. This combo is gonna clear out the entire wave later on when we have enough AD. There's a Mumu coming in as well. Lots of people wanting to commit. Look at how well we are playing around his abilities. I intentionally walked within his ultimate range, then I sidestepped it because I knew that was coming in. And then we also kited him with the W-EQ combo, and then our AD carry managed to clean up, so that's really nice, and that's also why you have to be really patient, especially on these squishy champions you'll be playing, like the AD assassins. Because one mistake can easily give the opponents a free kill, because you are so squishy. So always keep in mind what the enemy champions have that could potentially shut you down before you go in. In this case, I knew there was the Amumu ultimate, so I walked in, and then sidestepped the ultimate, and then walked back in. And this right here is why you want to be using the Prowler's Claw in set most of the time, because this champion and every other AD assassin, it gives them the highest possible damage output. And then you also get that gap closer. So in this case against the Tristana, what I was doing here is that I W in, then I used the Prowler's Claw. I used that because then I was already in melee range, so if she tried to ult me, then I could use my own ultimate to cancel that out, and then bam, she was dead anyways. For that item active, and the passive also, the lethality is going to increase your damage even more. So you're getting like the highest possible damage output with this item. But this is pretty much the mid game at this point. Like the towers are not really down, but my bot lane was mid, so it's fine that we swap right now because this is super beneficial to us. As a champion that's very OP in the side lanes, this is how you try to pick up those solo kills, and this is also where you really start killing that mid laner. Like if they have been playing safe, you force them to come bot to an extended lane. Even if they flash away, you should easily be able to catch them. And we are going to pick up another free kill on the Tristana. We can just AFK in the side lanes, honestly. This champion is absolutely insane the moment you start split pushing, because a lot of the champions you meet in the mid lane will not be able to fight you in the side lane. ZED is actually one of the absolute best mid laners in the game, because he doesn't really have a counter pick among the traditional mid laners. Like of course you can pick Garen mid or something, but that rarely happens as a counter pick. But against the traditional mid laners, you know, mages, stuff like the Yasuo, Yone, other assassins, he actually has good lanes against everything. Because even if there's someone you can't really fight, you have such good wave clearing, mobility, engage, disengage, everything, right? So you can easily just show out the wave and then just roam. I actually trolled right here. I do this a lot for no reason, that I just try to limit test as much as possible. But there's actually a way that I could have gotten the kill and then survived. So basically what you want to do is that you place a shadow behind you. So I could have placed it over the wall here and then I ult. Then you immediately take your W shadow. And then just use that shadow you placed next to Tristana and use that to like hit the E and the Q. And she would have been dead. And I would have survived. But it's a very hard champion to master, so you are gonna make a lot of mistakes, and it's fine to do so as long as you're learning from them, you know, learning what's possible and what's not possible. We will just keep going to the side lane. That is the absolute best thing you can do on this champion. You can show out the lane, then the mid laner comes spot trying to defend, and then just roam mid, find a kill, and then repeat. It's actually so unfortunate he just randomly sidestepped the Qs. So, like in this case, you don't have to use your E first. Because the main reason you use it first is because with your shadow it's going to slow. But when the target does not have vision of you, you can just use your Q first. Because like, if you saw what happened right here is that Tristana saw the E came in. So she immediately decided to sidestep. So I missed the Q. So if I did it the other way around, where I used the Q first, then I would have gotten a guaranteed hit on the Q as well as the E. We can go for the Amumu right here. That's another free kill, 7 kills on the AD assassin, and then just keep going to the side lane. That's what you want to do the entire game. No matter which elo you are playing in, this is the best thing you can do, because this is why you can really start snowballing. And sometimes the ultimate might be overkill, especially if you are fed, but just pay attention to the cooldown of that ultimate. look at how low it is at this point in the game, and it's going to get even lower. So basically, even though Sonya's Hourglass is a counter item to you, later on in the game, your ultimate is going to be on such a low cooldown that Sonya's Hourglass is not going to matter. And that's why ZED is one of the assassins that are actually good in the late game. And we got that kill, so we can just peace out. Then we can get the Yumus. Another OP item for AD assassins, on top of giving you all that mobility. Also get lots of damage. And now, when you get these two items, usually, like in 95% of the games, you should be going for the armor pin item. Because at this point, people will have some armor. Especially bruisers, tanks, and maybe even the mage, like the Seeker Samgard for example, or the AD carry, who knows. But you should be purchasing armor pen. I should probably have pinged the Tristana because Karthus ultimate was ready. But he still got the kill. I don't think he intended to get the Tristana. I actually don't think he saw that the Tristana was low HP. He probably tried to like kill the mid laner with his ultimate and then he accidentally got the Tristana too, but she died. That's what matters, so we just stay in the side lane and we keep pushing it out. Remember, in a lot of cases your ultimate is overkill on the AD carries. Like if you're camping in the bush and they're coming to face check or something, just WEQ, take your W by recasting it, and then auto attack to proc the passive, and that should be enough. And if they somehow survive, then you just use the Prowler's Claw to get another gap closer, take them out, and that's it. Another burst combo with triple shuriken, and then I also use the Prowler's Claw to get on the other side of the Tristana, hitting everyone with the Qs. There's lots of stuff you can do with this champion, guys. Like, he's super fun to play, but also very difficult, so you have to invest a lot of time. Like, if you want to master this champion, you have no choice but to invest a lot of time into, learning the kit, the mechanics, and especially the matchups, and so on. So it's probably a really good champion if you want to one-trick a champ, because this champ does well into a lot of stuff, but the issue you might have as an AD assassin player is that a lot of the times, especially if you play in lower elos, people will not pick AP. Like, people will not have AP champions anywhere else, and if you're a full AD into tanks and stuff, like, it's not going to be very fun to play. That's why I don't recommend one tricking, but you can be a two trick. So you have ZED if you want to play him, and then you have another AP champion in your kit, so in case you'll end up having a full AD team when playing this champion, then you can just pick your AP champ. Another free kill. Our teammates are doing well this game, so that's of course always fun. AD carry just destroying people in the bot side. This is like that combo I talked about where you W behind you. Something you can do if the opponents have like some sort of instant CC. Because like when you come out of your ultimate, you can immediately take your W, so you switch places, so that makes you go out of sight. And that also makes it impossible for the opponents to return damage or to CC you. While you can still hit them because your shadow is in melee range, so you can hit them with the E and the Q. And then you can recast that ultimate to get back in. So lots of cool combos, but they're also pretty hard to pull off. And yes, you will be missing a lot of Qs. There's no way around it. Like, I'm also missing a couple Qs. It is a skill shot after all, so that's going to happen very often. But something I can recommend on this champion is that your Q, you go into settings and then you toggle smart cast with indicators, because that's going to show the Q direction of your own Q, but also your shadow Q. It actually makes it way easier to land the Qs when you can see like how they mirror. So that's something I can highly recommend doing for anyone looking to pick up this champ. But you can see, because I spend a lot of time in the silence, which is something you should always be doing. But because I did that, look at my CS. It's actually really good for an AD assassin. Usually when you play AD assassins, you're gonna fall behind CS wise. Like, it's really normal to be around 6 CS per minute. But if you play it like I do, with great macro, make sure that you also pick up the waves in the silent, and then while you're roaming mid or something, then you also pick up the jungle camps on the way. I just took the camps because I'm almost level 16. That's another big spike, because that is the last point into your ultimate, and then you just look at the cooldown of that ultimate, seeing how super low it is, so you can pretty much just use it off cooldown. So you'll be at a point where you can actually use that ultimate twice in a team fight. But you want to be avoiding team fighting unless you can find a really good flank. Like, it's the same way you play pretty much all AD assassins, is that you wait in the corner somewhere. You wait for your allies and the opponents to start the fight. You wait until the AD carry completely forgot about you. Once they use their movement abilities, summoners, that's when you engage from the backline. Of course, making sure that the spot you are standing on is not warded. You engage, you flank the AD carry, you take them out, and then you get out, waiting for your cooldowns before you can re-engage. That is just me trolling as usual. I do this all the time. When the game is guaranteed, I just like to limit test a lot. I actually spam click my W, but apparently even that was not enough, because I just got perma CC'd. But you can actually pull these combos off in a lot of cases if you don't troll like I did. But the game is pretty much guaranteed, so that's why I'm just having a little bit of fun. But as I said, he is S+ tier right now. One of the best mid laners you can play. Just to make sure that you're not full AD when you lock him in. Because AD assassins get insanely hard countered by bruisers and tanks, so if they have multiple of those champs on the enemy team and you're full AD, you might as well have 15, because you're not winning that. Easy combo onto the Heimerdinger. Another reason I really like the Prowler's Claw is because of that additional gap closer you get. So basically with that item you have 3 gap closers, so even if somebody flashes away with an extra dash, they're not getting away, like it's not happening. This can even help you chase down a late game Kassadin. But it can also make sure that into opponents with Sonias is that use your W and the Prowlers, and then when they use the Sonias and they come out, that's why you can use the ultimate. So this Prowler's Claw active actually helps you making sure that you don't have to waste your ultimate when they have Sonias. But that, guys, was how to play Zed, so I really hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching and see you all next time.